All right, and here we are at the JW Marriott. This is the last hotel of the trip, the fifth hotel. We started off at the beautiful Conrad downtown. We went to JW Marriott Jeju Island. We took a flight there. We did the Park Hyatt here in Seoul, and then we just did the Joseon Luxury Collection Hotel. Finally, we're ending off with this. This is also one of the most luxurious hotels in the city. We're gonna see how it holds up and how it compares to the other luxury hotels, and if you should decide to stay here or the other ones for your trip. Let's take a look. All right, here we are at the room. We're at the 20th floor. It goes up to, I think, over 30 floors, so not the highest, but we had two rooms here. They did give us connecting rooms, which was nice. They didn't have any suites available, they said, because they were very full. So, but anyway, it's a fancier switch here, how we put the key card in there and it turns on all the lights as soon as you pop that in, which is great. But again, everything has been fully renovated as of 2018, so every surface is completely brand new and you can tell it's very nice. JW Marriotts are very business hotels. In my opinion, very few of them are ever extremely luxurious. They're more premium. Some of them are like the JW Marriott Jeju we were at, but this one, it just reminded me just of kind of a normal business hotel. But we have the standard closet here, nothing super fancy, just a very basic closet. None of the like cool wood tones like the Conrad, Park Hyatt, those ones had. Just very standard. I mean, this could almost be in a courtyard closet or a Fairfield, but we do have the robes. The robes I do approve of. They're actually very plush and fluffy, so that's great. Really beautiful robes with the JW Marriott logo though there. That is very nice. And then down below here we have the slippers. The slippers are interesting because the toe is cut off again, so your toes kind of stick out, but they are pretty thick. So I give these about a medium score. They're not the thickest, and your toe sticks out, but they are branded. They say JW Marriott, but I've never seen these at a JW Marriott before, so very interesting. Safe, ironing board, just the standard amenities, extra bedding, hangers, and a bag. So yeah, the closet just very basic, very generic. I don't consider this closet luxurious at all. It's just a very, just boring, basic closet. Now here's the bathroom. It has two entry doors here to go in, but it's okay. It reminds me a tiny bit of the JW Marriott Hong Kong, which gives me anxiety. So that is a bit of a problem. It's just because the shower actually is pretty small, but they did a good job with having a new rainfall shower installed here. So that's great. I love that. I love the back marbling, very beautiful. I kind of like the wood slats on the floor. That actually is very unique. So that's great, but just kind of a small cramped shower. Toilet over here. We do have the whole control panel, so that's fine. It is a little bit of a tight bathroom, and then just one sink. Now the lights are okay. They're not the nicest lights I've ever seen, but they're decent. And then the sink here is just very generic. This is nothing special. This could be at anyone's house, any regular Fairfield hotel. This is nothing special. They could have really cool handles, a really cool spigot, something a little bit more extravagant, but they just kind of went a little cheap with that. But we do also have the tub, so you have the shower and tub here even in the standard rooms, which is a nice touch because some people do like having a tub, but there's no view from the bathroom. And then here's the tub. So it is a pretty nice spacious tub, which is nice. They have the bath salts there, which is what I look for. Complimentary waters. So great they have the tub, toilet. It's just the bathroom. It's a little dark. I think it could be a little bit brighter, and then it's just the shower's a little compact, and then this is very boring here. But let's take a look at the rest of the room. Here we have a minibar area. We have a nice Nespresso machine, which is premium. That should be at every luxury property with Marriott, which is great. The kettle, all the pods and teas in here, which is great. Down below we have the fridge with drinks for purchase, cups, other things for purchase there. So that's a nice little spot. Now here we are heading into the room itself. The room is very nice. It's very spacious. This has the 2 double beds. We do have the connecting room, so that's a separate room in there with the 1 king. That one's a little bit tighter, but this one's like a duplex room, so it just has a tiny bit more space, but not a suite or anything like that. Now, I was excited to stay here because I always look at the picture of the bed and I love this headboard, kind of how it curves out like this. So the photos of these rooms, ever since it was renovated in 2018, I've always wanted to stay at this JW Marriott Seoul. Even before I've stayed at any of the other properties we stayed at on this trip, before we stayed at the Conrad, the Park Hyatt, the Joseon Palace, this was the hotel I wanted to stay at. So I'm happy I'm finally here. However, I'll be honest, I'm a tiny bit disappointed, especially just coming from the Joseon Palace. Definitely watch that review. Every detail and speck of that property and room was just flawless, just opened in 2021. But this one wasn't too far behind, fully renovated in 2018. The lobby areas are gorgeous. These beds are nice. The thing is, it's just like this area here is just very boring and plain. Same thing, this whole area over here. So this is not really something you'd have at the Joseon Palace. Like there was like the bookshelf and the lighting, the cool things hanging from the ceiling, just very different. Now I love this. This is gorgeous. This is in every room, at least something like this. So this is really cool because it ties in kind of the history and heritage here of Seoul. So I love that, but I wish that they could have like taken this design and made it like this whole wall and just kind of expanded it more. It would have been a little bit more premium. Now this side is definitely a lot more premium. This is totally fine. I love this. This is a lot of the wood tones around the TV. This whole wall here is nice. Seating area, table, little lounger there. All the hotel amenities in here. This light is okay. It's just a little sad. It definitely could be a really cooler light, or maybe like a pendant light hanging from the ceiling. I'm really into design as well now that I've stayed at so many different hotels around the world. So this may be nice for some, but just compared to what I've seen, they could have done something so much better with this space. But anyway, really nice spacious room. I'm sure I'm going to sleep great tonight. You also have this really nice speaker here by the nightstand. You can actually press the Bluetooth button, it looks like. Yep, it has Bluetooth buttons. You can press that, connect your Bluetooth device, so have music. This light is cool. I totally approve of this one. This one's very unique. How you have this here, and then we just have the remote for the TV, and then a whole control panel here. Now let me see. It looks like we have control panels, but let's take a look at these blinds. So we do not have automatic blinds here, which is very disappointing. So this is like the first hotel on the trip pretty much in the 5 hotels we've been to that does not have automatic blinds, which is a shame because this is a JW Marriott, which is in the luxury tier with Marriott. And in my opinion, every luxury category hotel should have that. It's not a problem to close the blinds, but it's convenient when you can press the button and they automatically close. But all the other luxury hotels here in Seoul have those. So that is a bit of a disappointment. We also do not have true floor to ceiling windows here. So keep that in mind. You basically have just a little over half here. It is a great view here looking out, but it's nothing like the Joseon Palace or the Park Hyatt. Those views were just so special. So this is a little bit of a more basic view, but regardless, at least we do have a nice view here looking out. Overall, I'm really excited that I decided to still stay here. I want to show you the rest of the hotel, but the rooms so far have been a little bit disappointing. They just don't feel special. They feel a little cookie cutter like, very basic, no automatic blinds, bathroom very basic lighting, and several flat walls, not floor to ceiling windows. So the renovation I feel like they could have done a better job on. But let's take a look at the rest of the hotel. I've heard they have one of the coolest gyms and largest gyms in the whole city out of any luxury hotel. So let's go check everything out. Welcome to the JW Marriott Hotel here in Seoul. This property is 33 stories high, and it is located in the Seoul district, which is the upscale area of Gangnam. This property is also integrated into the Central City complex, giving guests direct access to the department store as well as major bus terminal and 3 Seoul Metro lines. From the property, you can walk across this bridge and actually go on a nice little hiking trail. I really like that because it kind of gets you right out of the city. It was very relaxing, and it was a very nice walk to just relax in nature. Now, the property originally opened in 2000, and in 2018, it went through an 8-month renovation where the lobby, guest rooms, public areas were all completely reimagined. Now, when we arrived, we were helped with someone loading our bags, delivering them to the room. Here's the arrival area. It's definitely nice, but nothing that insane compared to a lot of other luxury hotels, especially the other luxury hotels in Seoul. that we stayed at. The porte cochere is very understated, but it is still somewhat elegant. I like the new tones, the new JW Marriott branding logo, everything is just really nice. Now as we enter here, you're going to notice right away the beautiful, stunning 15-meter sculpture by a French artist. It resembles a cascading necklace made of luminous glass beads, and it really sets the tone for the hotel's commitment to the art and elegance. Now this is just like the downstairs arrival area. This is not the lobby or check-in. So this is, I think, just a lot of like conference areas or rooms. They do have a small restaurant down here, which I'll show you later, but it really is stunning. And this was the one part of the hotel I really loved. I wish the rest of the hotel was this wow, but unfortunately, as I'll go into it, the rest of the hotel is not as special as the first impression is made here in the lobby. It definitely has a lot of potential. The property is about a 70-minute drive from the Incheon International Airport, which is the main airport in Seoul. From the street level, then you'll take an elevator up to level 8, where the main check-in lobby is located. Here we are at level 8. This is where the reception area is. Now it is very beautiful, fully renovated. It's a very nice touch. It's also home to the lounge, which is one of the restaurants. It's a very nice atmosphere where you can sit and relax. The only thing is, the check-in definitely felt awkward being located here in the lounge. Because the property has so many guest rooms, I feel like this lobby area can get very quiet and distract from the relaxation that the lounge is supposed to bring. They have a queue line just because the check-in line sometimes can get really long because they have, I think, close to 400 guest rooms. The lounge is beautiful, but I definitely do not think that they should have put the check-in desks here. I think they should have kept them maybe downstairs. It just kind of doesn't feel right. Check-in for us was pretty good. We did have 2 rooms during this stay. They were able to make them connecting rooms, which was very nice. However, they didn't really offer any suite upgrade, and the check-in was definitely not as special as the other luxury hotels we stayed at in Korea. It just seemed very straightforward, to the point, strict, not super friendly, and then you're kind of left to kind of go to the room yourself. Versus a lot of the other properties in Korea, they took us to the room, like the Joseon Palace. It definitely felt a lot more luxurious there. Here's just a few more clips of the lounge area. It is very beautiful, but also I think the noise from the lobby being right there would just cause it to be not as relaxing. This part of the lounge has the bar and some more seating areas, so it is very stunning. I just did not like that the check-in desks, they feel like they were just put in here out of place. They just didn't feel like it was in the right area of the hotel, especially for a property that has so many rooms. The lounge does offer panoramic windows that look over the district. It's great for both casual meetings and afternoon tea. The venue is opened all day with a curated menu of light dishes, coffees, cocktails, and wines. The afternoon tea set, which changes seasonally, is especially popular, often themed around Korean ingredients or major holidays. One level below, you'll find the Marguk's Grill, the hotel's fine dining crown jewel. Designed by Andre Fu, the restaurant has an elegant European-inspired interior with private wine rooms, marble finishes, and chef's tables. The menu specializes in premium cuts of meat, fresh seafood, and wood-grilled dishes, featuring ingredients flown in from around the world, including special Wagyu and French lobster. They offer an impressive wine cellar with over 1,000 labels curated by in-house sommeliers. The ambiance is ideal for special dinners or business meals. It's consistently ranked among one of the best hotel restaurants in Seoul. Right across from the grill is Mobo Bar, a bold contemporary cocktail bar. The name stands for Modern Botanic, and in the menu it reflects that, offering botanical-inspired craft cocktails using Korean herbs, seasonal fruit, and rare liquors. It's a popular post-dinner destination for both guests and locals. Moving down to level 2, we arrive at Flavors. This is the global buffet restaurant. It's extremely popular. We could not even get a reservation here for dinner the one night we were here. This is also where they have an expansive breakfast buffet and dinner buffet. I did not have a chance to get the full tour. Next up, we have Tamarara. This elegant Japanese restaurant offers a quiet, zen-like atmosphere and specializes multi-course dining. They even have specialty private dining rooms ideal for formal dinners. Next up, we have the Executive Lounge, available exclusively for Marriott Bonvoy Platinum, Titanium, and Ambassador members. The lounge was actually very spacious to accommodate quite a few guests. we were able to have both breakfast as well as the evening hors d'oeuvres. Here's part of the evening hors d'oeuvres. As we checked in the evening, they had different pastries, some fruits. They also had a salad bar, and then they did have a few hot items, which was nice. So we actually were able to get like a full dinner here and be full and not have to go find dinner elsewhere. Definitely not a ton of options, but it's definitely a million times better than any JW Marriott lounge that I've found in the US. They did have a lot of different options, so it's a great place if you definitely want to be able to have like dinner here as well as like breakfast. If you're platinum and above, you can get by with that. They also had a whole juice selection, and then the coffee station was nice. The service wasn't as amazing as other executive lounges where someone's always waiting on you. It's kind of more like self-serve just because it is a large-scale hotel, so this place can get pretty crowded too. Here you'll find all-day refreshments, afternoon tea, and nightly cocktail hour with roasting spread of hot dishes. Next, I also want to show you breakfast here in the executive lounge. We have a whole selection of cereals, very beautifully displayed. Here we have the bread section with some jellies, some cold meat, and then just some other more basic items. They did though have an egg station, which was great. Most people definitely utilize the egg station. I think every executive lounge or club lounge should have like an omelet chef or egg station. Now back down to the lobby, we have Cafe One. This is just a little lounge area that specializes in like coffees and light bites. It's very beautifully designed, so if you're on your way in or out, you can definitely grab a little something here. It looked really special. Now we're going to take a look at the spa and fitness club and wellness facilities, as this is one of the main attractions this hotel offers and why so many guests love this hotel. It has one of the largest gyms in the whole country. First, we're going to take a quick look at the spa reception area and kind of what the treatment rooms look like. It definitely looks pretty luxurious. Here's just a few of the prices for some of the different treatments, definitely in line with other hotel spas. Here's what the treatment rooms look like. They do look very luxurious. They unfortunately didn't have any like windows with a view, but it was still very nice. Renovations look really beautiful and it looks very stunning. They also have relaxation areas where guests can relax in softly lit space with infused water. This property's just relaxation area goes and goes and goes. There's so many different seating areas. Here's kind of an outlook of the things that they offer. Now, unfortunately, I don't think the sauna is included. It is an extra charge. I think if you're an elite member though, you can get a discount. It's one of the largest in the country, featuring a full selection of high-end techno gym, cardio, and strength training machines. There's over 100 different pieces of equipment. There's even free weights, functional training areas. The gym is open 24 hours a day for hotel guests, and access is included with your stay. The pool is a lap pool, and it's very impressive with 3 lanes, natural sky lighting, and ambient underwater LED lights. Although it didn't seem super luxurious, it just seemed like a large scale, almost like YMCA or mega fitness center pool. So nothing about it screamed luxury, but it definitely had everything you could need. But these facilities go on and on. The locker rooms are just massive. And then they also have another little like hot tub area here. And then they even have a place where you can like play basketball and do other things. I don't know if all of these different activities are included. They may be an extra cost, so definitely check in. Okay, now for the review of the JW Marriott Seoul. For rooms, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. For luxury hotel, they just do not meet the standards at all that I have. No automatic curtains. The whole front with the old doors, it just feels like those were never even renovated. They're extremely old. The sink, the lights, nothing modern, nothing super fancy, just very basic. It almost just feels like I'm just at an average Marriott. Next up is going to be inspiration. Overall, how inspired was I by this hotel? That's going to overall get about a 3.5 out of 5. The only part that's inspiring is when you first walk in the lower level, that huge atrium lobby. But from there, everything else is just very generic, very basic. There's nothing else that is really special about this hotel that I'm ever going to remember. Next up is going to be service. Service overall, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. The people we've encountered have been friendly, but no one's really went out of our way to make us feel extra special. They also have a lot of rooms, over like 300, I think 370 or so. So it's a very big hotel, just a lot of people. So it's not really as exclusive or the personal touches like other hotels. Also, there's a lot of opportunities staff could have had to interact with us or things, but they just didn't. So just service, it's just, we don't really know anyone here. We didn't really get to know anyone. Finally, value, what I return, that's gonna get a 3.5 out of 5. I will not be coming back here. Now, it's still better than a lot of the other really basic hotels in the city, and even other basic Marriott hotels like the Fairfield I've stayed at in Seoul before and things. So that's why it's at least getting a 3.5. But otherwise, like, you're not like downtown in the city here. You're a little bit farther away. You're not like in the skyline, kind of like at the Park Hyatt and the Joseon Luxury Collection and the Conrad. You're a little bit off. So I feel like the location isn't as good. You do have a park you can walk to, which is nice. But otherwise, nothing about this hotel is special. It's just kind of disappointing just how they're doing JW Marriotts these days. It just doesn't feel super luxurious and fancy like even the JW Marriott Jeju. They don't even compare. So for that reason, if I come back to Seoul, I'm definitely going to look forward to staying at definitely the Conrad. I think overall that's the best value hotel, or even the Park Hyatt or the Joseon. All three of those were just like perfect. So definitely reconsider if you're planning on staying here. Now, it is a little bit more reasonable than the other hotels, so it's around $300 US per night here. So it's a little bit more reasonable than those other higher end ones. So for that price point, they also have the executive lounge for platinum and higher, which was nice. They actually had a lot of good options for dinner and breakfast, so that's a plus. They do have a few restaurants here on property, but none of them felt extremely crazy wow, except maybe the Japanese one. Great, this concludes the Seoul hotel tour, the best 5 hotels in South Korea that I could find. Now make sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss the next hotel huge trip, as some of those may be perfect score and you won't miss it.